stranded in deep space, until a human warship answered instantly. Sci-fi, the cargo vessel Starling, floated alone in the endless darkness of space. Outside, the stars stretched in every direction, shining cold and distant. Inside, the small crew of 3 worked in tense silence. The ship's lights flickered occasionally, and the low hum of the engines seemed louder than usual. Alex Morgan, the pilot, stood at the controls, staring at the navigation panel with a frown. "We're off course," Alex said, his voice low but steady. He pressed a few buttons, but the screen only showed static. "The meteoroid must have damaged our navigation systems. I can't get a proper reading." Olivia Tate, the engineer, was crouched near the main engine core, her hands covered in grease and smudges from working on the damaged circuits. She wiped her forehead with the back of her hand and looked at Alex. "I can try to fix it, but it's going to take time," she said. Her voice was calm, but a hint of worry lingered. Liam Parker, the communications officer, leaned against the wall near the signal transmitter. He had been trying to send distress messages for hours. His fingers drummed against the console nervously. "No one's answering," he said, frustration clear in his voice. "I've sent messages on every frequency, not a single reply." Alex ran a hand through his hair. "We're too far out. The outer rim doesn't have many traffic lanes. Even if someone hears us, they may take days to reach us. And if they do—" His voice trailed off, but the meaning was clear. The 3 of them were stranded. Their small cargo vessel was designed to carry goods across trade routes, not to survive alone in the middle of uncharted space. The meteoroid strike had knocked out their main systems, leaving them vulnerable and powerless. Olivia moved closer to the damaged engine. "I think I can get the core working again, but it will take a full cycle to restart. That could be hours." She paused, listening to the hum of the engines. "And even then, the navigation computers might be beyond repair. We might have to rely on manual plotting." Alex shook his head. "Manual plotting in this area? You know what that means. We could drift for months, maybe longer, before finding a trade route." He looked out at the dark emptiness beyond the viewport. "And that's if we survive long enough. Oxygen levels are dropping faster than they should. We can't afford to waste time." Liam bit his lip and glanced at the signal transmitter again. "I've checked for nearby alien patrols," he said. "There's nothing. If anyone's out here, they're either ignoring us or we're too far away for them to care." Alex's hands tightened on the control panel. "Humans are considered insignificant," he muttered. "Out here, we're just cargo, just another ship to pass by. Nobody risks themselves for a small crew like ours." Olivia frowned but stayed focused. "We can't just give up. If we keep trying, someone might notice us. We have to keep hope alive." They fell silent after that, each lost in their own thoughts. Hours passed slowly. The Starling drifted through the black void, tiny against the vastness of space. The crew took turns checking the systems, but progress was slow. Every problem they fixed seemed to reveal another. During one check, Liam's console flickered to life for a moment. He leaned closer. "Wait, is that no, just static?" he said. He tried again, adjusting the frequency. "Nothing, just endless noise." Alex ran a hand across his forehead. "This is going to be a long night." The silence of space seemed to press in on them. Even though they were together, each felt the weight of isolation. Outside, a distant meteoroid field shimmered faintly, the rocks moving slowly in orbit. They could see it from the viewport, but it offered no comfort. It reminded them only of how fragile they were, floating alone with no one to help. Olivia sat down beside the engine core, leaning back against the wall. "Do you ever think about how small we are out here?" she asked quietly. "I mean really small. Just a tiny ship in a sea of stars. Nothing notices us, nothing cares." Alex didn't answer at first. Then he said, "Yeah, but maybe that's why humans survive. We fight even when it seems impossible. Maybe being small is an advantage. We can hide, adapt, keep moving when others give up." Liam shook his head. "I hope you're right. I don't know if we have enough time. Oxygen is dropping, food rations are limited, and repairs are going slow. If we can't get moving soon—" His voice cracked slightly, betraying his fear. Olivia put a hand on his shoulder. "We'll get through this," she said firmly. "We have to. Giving up isn't an option. Even if no one's coming, we'll find a way to survive." Hours stretched into what felt like days. The crew worked in shifts, trying to keep the ship functioning. Alex calculated trajectories by hand, plotting a course that might lead them back to a known trade route. Olivia patched circuits and checked engines, her fingers steady despite fatigue. Liam sent repeated messages, hoping for any response. During a break, Alex sat in the pilot's chair and looked at the stars. He thought about the stories he had heard of deep space rescues, humans saving humans in impossible situations. Most of them seemed like legends. But now, staring at the endless black, he wondered if any human would even notice them here. A sudden sound made them all start. The ship's sensors picked up a faint signal, barely distinguishable from the cosmic background. Liam leaned forward, squinting at the screen. "Is someone replying?" Alex and Olivia joined him. The signal was weak, fragmented, almost lost in the noise. "I can't tell," Alex said. "It's too faint, but it's there. Something's out there." For the first time in hours, a spark of hope lit their faces. Could it be a human ship, another cargo vessel? Maybe someone had noticed their distress calls after all. They spent the next hours monitoring the signal. Every time it grew stronger, their hearts raced. But then it faded, leaving only the cold hum of the Starling's engines. They couldn't tell if it was real or just interference. Olivia sighed, rubbing her eyes. "We can't rely on hope alone, we have to keep working." "If no one comes, we survive ourselves," Alex nodded. "Right, we fix what we can, ration what we have, and keep moving. One way or another, we won't just drift forever." As night passed in the black void, the crew of the Starling continued their work. They shared quiet conversations, laughed at small jokes, and reminded each other of why they couldn't give up. Every flicker of the ship's lights, every pulse of the engines, felt like a small victory against the vast emptiness around them. Outside, alien drones occasionally passed the Starling. They moved silently, curious but distant, ignoring the small human ship. The crew noticed them on the sensors but said nothing. They didn't feel threatened, only reminded that humans were far from the center of galactic attention. Even so, the Starling crew refused to despair. Alex focused on plotting a course with the limited data he had. Olivia worked tirelessly on repairs, and Liam continued sending messages into the void. Together, they clung to the smallest chance that someone, somewhere, might notice them. Hours turned to another day. Their bodies ached from stress and work, but they persevered. Each small repair, each calculation, each signal sent was a step forward, proof that humans could survive against the odds. Alex finally leaned back in his chair, exhausted but determined. "We may be alone," he said quietly, "but we're not helpless. Humans survive because we refuse to quit, no matter how small or lost we are. If we can just hold on, someone will find us." Olivia nodded, her hands still dirty but her spirit strong. "We'll survive," she said, "because we have to, because we're human." Liam looked out the viewport at the stars. And maybe, just maybe, out here in the dark, being human is what makes all the difference. The Starling drifted through the endless void, a tiny dot of life in the vastness of space. And though the crew did not yet know it, help was closer than they could imagine. Days passed on the Starling, and hope was a fragile thing. The crew had fallen into a routine, checking systems, rationing food and water, and sending messages into the void, all while drifting farther from the nearest trade routes. The silence of space was oppressive, but they had learned to live with it. Alex Morgan, the pilot, sat at the main control panel, staring at the black emptiness outside the viewport. His eyes ached from the constant focus on the flickering star patterns, trying to detect any movement or familiar markers. "Another day, same result," he muttered. His fingers tapped on the console nervously. Nothing, no signals, nothing. Olivia Tate worked nearby on the engine. She had managed to restore partial power, but the navigation system was still damaged. "At least the engines are stable," she said. "We can move a little, but without proper navigation, it's pointless." She sighed and wiped her hands on a cloth. "We're drifting, and nobody seems to care." Liam Parker sat slouched in the corner, staring at the communication panel. Every now and then he pressed a button, sending out another distress signal. "If anyone is out there, they should be able to hear us by now," he said, frustration clear in his voice. "It's impossible that no one is listening." Alex shook his head. "The outer rim isn't heavily patrolled. Most ships pass through only the main trade lanes. We're just lost. Invisible." The three of them lapsed into silence, each lost in their own thoughts. Then suddenly the communication panel beeped. It was faint, almost drowned out by static, but there it was, a signal. Liam jumped forward, his eyes wide. I think someone's replying." Alex rushed over. "Let me see." The screen flickered as the signal stabilized, showing a small, rhythmic pattern of pulses. It was human. They all stared at it, disbelief and hope warring in their expressions. Olivia's hands trembled slightly as she adjusted the signal receiver. This has to be a human ship," she whispered. "Nobody else could get this close this fast. The timing is too precise." Liam typed furiously on the console. "Sending a response now?" He pressed the button and a voice crackled through the speakers. "This is Captain Ethan Briggs of the USS Liberty. We received your distress signal. Your location is confirmed. Prepare for rescue. Stand by." Alex, Olivia, and Liam froze for a moment, staring at each other in shock. Then, like a dam breaking, relief and excitement poured through them. "They're coming!" Alex shouted, a laugh breaking from his lips. "They're really coming." Olivia wiped her eyes, trying to keep her composure. "I can't believe it. I didn't think anyone would ever find us out here." Liam leaned back in his chair, letting out a long breath. "I thought we were done for. I really did, but they're coming." The Starling shuddered slightly as its engines hummed, and the crew went to work preparing for the rescue. Olivia checked the systems to make sure nothing would fail during the approach. Alex monitored the trajectory, making small adjustments to keep the ship steady. Liam kept the communication line open, listening to updates from the Liberty. Outside, through the viewport, a bright light appeared in the distance. At first, it was just a small glimmer, barely visible against the stars. But slowly it grew larger, brighter, and unmistakably like a ship moving at high speed. The USS Liberty was on its way. Alex pressed his hands against the console, staring in awe. "I never thought I'd see a human warship here," he said quietly. "Not out here, not this far." Olivia joined him at the viewport. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "Look at the way it moves, like it knows exactly where to go." Liam shook his head, almost in disbelief. "I can't believe how fast they responded. We've been out here for days, and they got here almost instantly." "How is that even possible?" As the Liberty approached, the crew on the Starling could see the details of the massive ship. Sleek, powerful, and efficient, it moved with precision that no ordinary vessel could match. The lights of the ship illuminated the Starling for the first time in days, casting long shadows across the interior. The Liberty's crew communicated calmly and efficiently. "Tractor beam ready," Captain Briggs's voice said over the line. "Prepare for transfer. We'll secure your vessel shortly." Alex, Olivia, and Liam moved quickly, following instructions. They locked down loose equipment, secured themselves in the control room, and prepared for the transfer. The Starling shook slightly as the tractor beam engaged, pulling it gently toward the Liberty. "This is incredible," Olivia said, her voice trembling with excitement. "It's like nothing we've ever experienced before. They're just perfect." "Everything is smooth, controlled, precise." Alex nodded. "That's humans for you. They don't panic, they just act, and they do it fast." Liam's eyes were glued to the communication console. "I can hear them coordinating everything perfectly. It's like watching a well-oiled machine. Every move is calculated, every step planned." As the Starling moved closer, the Liberty's crew sent over a rescue pod. The pod docked smoothly with the Starling, and a small team of Liberty crew members entered. They were human like them, but different somehow, calm, confident, and efficient in a way that inspired awe. One of the rescuers, Lieutenant Sarah Mason, stepped forward. "We'll get you out safely," she said with a reassuring smile. "Follow our instructions exactly, and you'll be fine." Olivia looked at her and nodded. "Thank you," she said, her voice filled with gratitude. "I can't believe you got here so fast." Sarah laughed softly. "That's what humans do. We don't wait, we act." Alex guided the Starling to a stable position as the Liberty's crew prepared to transfer them. The tractor beam held steady, and the pod's mechanical arms attached carefully. The crew felt a thrill of relief as they realized they were finally safe. During the transfer, Liam couldn't help but ask a question. "Captain Briggs, how did you get here so quickly? We thought we were lost forever." Captain Briggs's voice came over the communication line. "Human ships are built for speed, efficiency, and adaptability. When we receive a distress signal, we act immediately. Waiting is not an option. Every human life matters." The words struck the crew deeply. They had felt invisible, unimportant, and alone. Now they realized that humans, even far from home, valued life above protocol, above politics, above everything else. As the transfer finished, Alex, Olivia, and Liam stepped into the Liberty's pod. The inside was clean, bright, and organized. The pod moved smoothly, carrying them into the larger ship. The Starling stayed behind, held by the tractor beam, while the Liberty's crew monitored everything carefully. Olivia looked around the pod in amazement. This is incredible. Every system is perfect. Every panel, every control, it's like they thought of everything. Alex smiled, a sense of pride filling him. Humans really are something else. We survive where others wouldn't even try, and we do it fast, smart, and without hesitation. Liam leaned back, finally relaxing for the first time in days. I can't believe it. After everything, we're going to live. We're going to make it. The pod docked with the Liberty, and the Starling crew stepped onto the warship's deck. They were greeted by a team of humans who immediately guided them to a safe area, offered water and food, and checked them for injuries. Welcome aboard the USS Liberty, Captain Briggs said in person now, shaking hands with each of them. You're safe now, that's what matters. Alex, Olivia, and Liam exchanged looks of amazement and relief. They had gone from being stranded in the middle of nowhere to standing on a massive human warship, completely safe. The contrast was overwhelming. Your ship will be secured, Captain Briggs continued. And once you're ready, we'll get you back to a safe trade route. But for now, rest, you've earned it. Olivia smiled faintly, feeling tears prick her eyes. We never thought anyone would find us, she said quietly. We were alone, lost, and invisible. Captain Briggs placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. No human is ever invisible to another. We act when it matters. That's who we are. Alex looked out the viewport at the Starling, still floating in the darkness. I can't believe it. After all that, help came instantly. And it's human help. We weren't alone after all. Liam nodded, finally letting himself relax. We weren't, and we won't be, not now, not ever. As the crew rested and the Liberty's systems hummed around them, a feeling of awe settled over them. They had seen firsthand why humans were respected, feared, and sometimes underestimated. They acted fast, they cared deeply, and they survived against all odds. Outside, the void of space stretched on, but now it felt different. It wasn't empty. It wasn't silent. Humans were out here, watching, ready to act, and willing to risk everything for life. For the Starling crew, that knowledge was more powerful than any engine, any navigation system, or any technology. They had been saved not by luck, not by chance, but by the unique courage and determination of humans. And for the first time in days, Alex, Olivia, and Liam allowed themselves to believe that they could make it, because humans never gave up. The Starling crew settled into the USS Liberty, still in awe of the massive warship. The ship was unlike anything they had ever seen. Every surface gleamed, every control panel blinked with lights, and the hum of engines was steady and strong, almost comforting. It was as if the ship itself was alive, ready to respond to any situation, anywhere in the galaxy. Alex Morgan walked down the wide corridor with Olivia Tate and Liam Parker following behind. They had been given fresh uniforms and food, and their injuries and exhaustion were being checked by the Liberty's medical team. Even so, their minds were occupied with questions about how the ship had found them and why humans acted so differently from everyone else they had encountered in space. Captain Ethan Briggs met them in a bright room at the center of the ship. He was tall with a calm but firm presence. Sit down, he said, gesturing toward chairs around a table. You've been through a lot, but now that you're safe, I can explain why you were rescued so quickly. Alex sat first, leaning forward. We thought we were lost forever. We sent messages, but nobody answered for days, and then suddenly the Liberty appeared. How did you get here so fast? Captain Briggs smiled faintly. We don't wait. When we receive a distress signal from a human vessel, we act immediately. Time is life, and life is always worth saving. That's the human way. Olivia leaned back, still amazed. Even in the outer rim, so far from trade routes and patrols. Even there, Briggs replied. Our ships are built for speed and endurance. We can reach places other ships would take days to find, sometimes even weeks. And our crew is trained to act quickly, without hesitation. We don't stop to ask if it's convenient. We stop only to save lives. Liam Parker shook his head, trying to process it all. It's incredible. You don't just rely on technology. You act fast, you think fast, and you don't give up. No wonder humans are different. Captain Briggs leaned forward, resting his hands on the table. That's right. We are different, and that difference is why humans survive where others fail. We take risks that others consider impossible. We act when others hesitate. And we do not underestimate ourselves, no matter how small or insignificant we might seem. Alex glanced around the room, noticing the crew working in the background. Every action was precise, efficient, and purposeful. And your crew, everyone here is like you, Calm, capable, focused. It's inspiring, he said quietly. Briggs nodded. That's the training, yes, but it's also human instinct. We adapt. We overcome. We survive. Every system on this ship, every protocol, every piece of equipment is designed to enhance that survival instinct, and we expect the same from anyone who travels in deep space. We trust humans to act fast, to think smart, and to make the right choices when it counts most. Olivia's eyes sparkled with curiosity. Can we see the systems? I mean your engines, navigation, and communications. I want to understand how you managed to find us so quickly. Briggs smiled. Of course, but first let me show you why human ships are special. He led them to a viewing room with a large viewport. Outside, the stars streaked past as the Liberty glided through hyperspace, the curvature of space itself bending slightly around them. Alex pressed a hand against the glass. Hyperspace, it's beautiful and fast. You moved faster than we could even imagine. Briggs nodded. Our ships can navigate through hyperspace almost instantly. Combined with real-time calculations, we can respond to a signal from almost anywhere. Even in the outer rim, even in regions considered dead space, we reach human ships in hours, not days. That's why you saw us appear so quickly. Liam looked impressed. So it's the combination of technology and training. You have faster engines, better navigation, and crews who act immediately. Briggs leaned back. Exactly, but it's more than that. It's mindset. Most species in the galaxy wait, hesitate, or analyze endlessly. Humans act. And we never underestimate the value of life, even when the odds are against us. That mindset, combined with technology, gives us an advantage that few can match. Olivia's mind raced as she looked at the glowing panels and holographic displays. I've never seen anything like this. Your systems, they're smart but simple enough that humans can understand them instantly. There's no overcomplication, no unnecessary delays. It's brilliant. Briggs nodded. That's intentional. Human engineering focuses on practicality, resilience, and adaptability. A ship isn't just built to move or fight. It's built to survive and to allow humans to survive with it. That's why we could reach you, secure your ship, and rescue you without any mistakes. Everything is designed for reliability under pressure. Alex leaned closer to one of the holographic displays, fascinated. And this, the communications, you were able to detect our signals almost instantly, even though we were drifting in dead space. Briggs smiled. That's another part of human advantage. Our communication systems are sensitive, precise, and networked. We don't rely on slow relays or intermediate stations. If a human ship sends a signal, we detect it. Immediately, anywhere in the galaxy. That's why you were found so quickly. Liam Parker shook his head in wonder. I never thought humans could be like this, fast, precise, brave, even in situations where others would give up. You make the impossible seem normal. Briggs leaned forward, his expression serious. That's why humans survive in deep space. We take risks, we adapt. We don't hesitate when action is required. And we value life above everything. That combination, courage, ingenuity, adaptability, and empathy, is what makes humans special. Olivia nodded slowly, her mind absorbing every word. It's inspiring to think that even when we were lost, even when everything seemed hopeless, someone was ready, waiting, capable of saving us. That's amazing, Briggs smiled. It is, and it happens every day. Humans save humans in situations that would seem hopeless to anyone else. That's why our species survives, grows, and thrives even in the most dangerous corners of space. Alex looked out the viewport again at the stars streaking past. I think I understand now. It's not just the ship or the technology, it's humans. The way you think, the way you act, the way you never give up. That's the real power. Briggs nodded. Exactly. Never underestimate a human in space. Even a small crew can survive where others would fail. Even a damaged ship drifting in dead space can be saved, because humans don't quit. The three of them spent hours exploring the Liberty. Olivia examined the engine room, marveling at the compact, efficient layout. Every system was accessible, understandable, and reliable. Alex studied the navigation room, noting how calculations were made instantly and relayed across the ship. Liam spent time with the communications team, learning how signals were tracked and detected across immense distances. Everywhere they went, they saw evidence of human ingenuity and resilience. The crew worked together seamlessly, each person understanding their role and acting with confidence. There was no panic, no hesitation, only action and precision. As night passed in hyperspace, the Starling crew began to feel a sense of pride. They had been rescued, yes, but more than that, they had witnessed the true nature of humans in space. Courage, intelligence, teamwork, and determination combined with advanced technology made humans uniquely capable of surviving the impossible. Olivia finally spoke as they rested in a small lounge area. I think I understand now. Humans aren't just survivors. Humans are unstoppable when they work together and act fast. That's what makes us special. Alex nodded, staring out at the endless stars. And that's why the Liberty came for us. Not because we were important, but because humans act when life matters. That's who we are. Liam smiled faintly. I never thought I'd feel this proud, not just to be human, but to see what humans can do. Out here in deep space, no one else would have come, but humans did. That's incredible. Captain Briggs approached, overhearing their conversation. You've understood the most important lesson, he said. Never underestimate humans. We survive, we act, and we save each other no matter the cost. That's what makes humans a force in the galaxy. Olivia looked at him with admiration. Thank you for saving us and for showing us what humans can really do. Briggs nodded. It's what we do, and it's also why we train every human crew the way we do. We prepare them to act when others hesitate, to survive when others would fail, and to protect life when others ignore it. That's humanity's edge. Alex, Olivia, and Liam fell silent, reflecting on everything they had learned. They had been lost, alone, and hopeless, but now they understood the truth. Humans were capable of extraordinary things. Their courage, ingenuity, and determination allowed them to survive and to save each other, no matter what the universe threw at them. As they looked out at the streaking stars through the Liberty's viewport, a new sense of purpose settled over them. They would return to the Starling, repair it, and continue their journey. But now they carried with them the knowledge of what humans were capable of, and the pride of being part of that species. And in the endless void of space, that knowledge felt stronger than any engine, faster than any signal, and brighter than any star. The Starling crew had been rescued, but more importantly, they had discovered the real power of humanity. Courage, determination, and the ability to act when it mattered most. The Starling rested safely inside the USS Liberty's docking bay. Its damaged hull was carefully held by stabilizers while the Liberty's engineering team worked on repairs. Alex, Olivia, and Liam watched in amazement as human engineers moved quickly and efficiently, replacing circuits, patching hull plating, and running diagnostic checks. This is incredible, Olivia said, her eyes wide as she observed the work. They're fixing everything we thought was beyond repair and fast. Alex nodded, leaning against the railing. That's humans for you, quick, precise, and effective. I can't believe the difference it makes to have people who know exactly what to do. Liam crossed his arms, still amazed. I never thought a ship could be repaired this fast. We've been stranded for days, and now it's like nothing happened. Captain Ethan Briggs approached, smiling at the three of them. We value life and efficiency equally, he said. Your ship is more than just metal and engines. It's your home in space. We ensure it's functional and safe before letting anyone continue their journey. That's what humans do. We protect life and capability. Olivia stepped closer. I want to help. I want to see how you do it, learn from it. Maybe I can make the Starling even better for the next trip. Briggs nodded. You're welcome. Humans learn from humans. We share knowledge. That's another reason we survive where others fail. Cooperation, training, and sharing what we know. It's part of what makes humans strong. For the next several hours, the Starling crew worked alongside the Liberty engineers. Olivia studied every detail, from engine maintenance to power routing, absorbing knowledge that would take her years to fully understand under normal conditions. Alex observed the navigation and control systems, learning techniques for plotting courses manually and through hyperspace that he had never imagined. Liam focused on communications, seeing how signals could be tracked, amplified, and decoded almost instantly across light years. Even though they were tired, excitement and pride drove them forward. Every small success, every repaired panel, every stabilized system gave them confidence. The Starling was no longer just a fragile cargo ship drifting in space. It was being rebuilt into a vessel that could survive almost anything, and it was being done by humans who understood life and survival in a way no one else could. By evening, the repairs were nearly complete. Briggs invited the crew to the bridge to review the final systems. The room was bright and calm, with panels lighting up in organized patterns. The Starling now hummed with renewed energy, engines stabilized, navigation systems functional, and communication channels fully restored. Alex ran his hand along the control panel. "It feels alive again," he said quietly. "I can't believe how much better it is than before." Olivia nodded, eyes shining. "And we learned so much just by watching them. This changes everything. We'll be ready for anything next time." Liam checked the communication array. "And if we're ever in trouble again, we know humans will respond. Instantly. That's reassuring." Briggs placed a hand on Alex's shoulder. "Humans survive because we act fast, we adapt, and we never give up. You've seen it, you've experienced it, and now you carry that knowledge with you. That's what makes humans a force in the galaxy." Alex, Olivia, and Liam shared a look, understanding more than words could say. They had been lost, hopeless, and afraid. Now they were not just safe, they were empowered. As the Liberty guided the Starling out of the docking bay, the stars stretched endlessly outside the viewport. The Starling glided smoothly, its engines strong, its systems fully operational. The crew felt a sense of freedom they had not experienced since the meteoroid strike had left them stranded. Alex sat in the pilot's chair, hands steady on the controls. "It feels right, like we're meant to be out here traveling the stars, and now we can actually handle it." Olivia joined him, looking out at the black expanse dotted with stars. "We're not just surviving, we're thriving. That's the difference humans make." Liam leaned against the console, a small smile on his face. "And the best part, we know that help will come if it's needed. Humans don't leave each other behind." The Liberty crew watched as the Starling moved into open space, maintaining a protective escort until the Starling reached a safe course along the trade lanes. Briggs communicated through the ship's intercom. "You're cleared to continue your journey. Stay alert, follow your training, and remember what you've learned. Humanity is stronger when we act, when we adapt, and when we protect each other. Safe travels." Alex, Olivia, and Liam nodded, their hearts full of gratitude and pride. "We won't forget this," Alex said quietly. "Not ever." Olivia added, "And we'll make sure the Starling is ready for anything. We've learned from the best." Liam smiled, looking out at the vastness of space. "It's more than just the ship, isn't it? It's the humans behind it. That's what makes all the difference." As they left the Liberty behind, drifting back into the endless black, the Starling felt stronger, faster, and more capable than ever before. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, but this time they didn't feel small or insignificant. They felt ready, they felt human. During the journey, the crew reflected on everything that had happened. The fear, the isolation, the despair. They remembered it all vividly. But now that fear was replaced by knowledge and pride. They had seen firsthand the power of humans in space. They had experienced the courage, the ingenuity, and the determination that made humans capable of surviving impossible situations. Olivia spoke first, breaking the silence. "You know, before this, I thought we were just lucky to survive. But now I see humans aren't lucky. We're prepared, we act, we adapt. That's why we survive, that's why we're here." Alex nodded. "It's more than luck, it's mindset, courage, and skill, and teamwork. We saw it in the Liberty crew. They all knew exactly what to do, and they acted without hesitation. That's humanity at its best." Liam smiled, finally at ease. "And it's contagious. Being with them, seeing how they operate, it changes you. We're stronger now just by witnessing it." The stars flowed past the Starling, and the crew felt a connection to the vast galaxy. They knew dangers awaited, meteoroids, pirates, or alien patrols, but they also knew humans were capable of overcoming them. No matter what, they were not helpless. Days passed as the Starling moved through the trade lanes, the crew applying everything they had learned from the Liberty. Repairs were finished, systems tested, and new strategies implemented. Every action they took felt deliberate, confident, and precise. The Starling was no longer just a fragile cargo ship. It was a testament to human resilience. Alex piloted with calm determination, Olivia monitored the engines, and Liam maintained constant communication, practicing the techniques he had learned. They worked seamlessly together, a small team empowered by the example of the humans who had saved them. One evening, as they drifted past a cluster of distant stars, Olivia looked out the viewport and said quietly, "I feel like we can take on anything now. Nothing seems impossible." Alex smiled. "Exactly. Humans survive and we adapt. We learned that from the Liberty crew. And now we carry it with us. That's what makes us special." Liam leaned back, a small grin on his face. And it's not just about surviving, it's about thriving. Being human means we can face the impossible and still come out stronger. The starling glided through space, faster, steadier, and more capable than ever. The memory of fear and isolation faded, replaced by pride and determination. Every star they passed reminded them that humans were not just another species. They were a force capable of achieving the extraordinary. Alex, Olivia, and Liam knew that the galaxy was vast and often indifferent. But they also knew that humans were prepared for the challenges of deep space. With courage, intelligence, and determination, they could survive, thrive, and protect each other in even the most dangerous situations. As the Starling continued its journey, the crew felt a sense of purpose they had never known before. They were not just traveling through space, they were representing humanity. Every decision, every maneuver, every choice carried the strength and resilience of their species. And in the endless black, filled with distant stars and unseen dangers, the Starling crew knew one thing with certainty. Humans never give up, humans never leave each other behind, and humans always act when it matters most. The Starling sailed on, ready for whatever the galaxy would throw at it. And as it moved through the stars, the crew carried with them the knowledge, pride, and courage that made humans truly special. The universe was vast and full of challenges, but the Starling and its crew were ready. They had survived the impossible, learned from the best, and discovered the true power of humanity. And nothing could stop them, not space, not isolation, not danger. Because they were human, and that was enough. As the stars stretched endlessly ahead, the Starling moved forward, carrying hope, courage, and the unstoppable spirit of humanity into the deep unknown.